It's your girl Barbi J here, and we are talking about Powerbook 3, Raising Kanan, Season 1, Episode 9, or 109, whatever yours says. Mine says 109. Loyal to the end. And that's what Kanan was. Loyal to the end. That's what Rock is. Loyal to the end. Everybody was being loyal. And this episode was something else, honey. I enjoyed this episode. And it wasn't just because yours truly is in this episode. That's right, y'all. Shout out to Barbi J's in this episode. You'll see me in the church scene at the end. If you haven't, I'll attach a picture to show you what I look like, dressed like an old lady and stuff. But anyway, I enjoyed this episode. It was really good. And before we get started, shout out to my subscribers for holding my channel down. Thank you for my commenters, everybody who's commenting. And if you have not subscribed to my channel yet and you in the comment section, please take a moment and subscribe now. Subscribe to one of my channels. Y'all know I got two of them. So please subscribe and support Barbi J. That's right. And if you have not subscribed, you're going to have to give me a good reason to tell me why you haven't. Help my channel grow. Don't be nice. Share my videos and help your sister's channel grow. That's right. Now, before we get started, I want to give a special shout out because I am loving my frames. I had to get my eyes done and I had checked and stuff, and of course they changed. That's why I can't read nothing. And I got these new frames. I got about two pair. I'm gonna get one more pair. And these frames is hot. I really like them. Y'all want to see them? Y'all see them close up? These frames are hot. Shout out to Win Optics in Harlem, New York, where I picked these out. These are Roberto Cavalli's, I think they are. I love these glasses. I tell you, these frames, I was like, okay now, work it. No, that is not. Anyway, shout out to him. Tell him Barbi J sent you, a.k.a. June. That's all. You can tell him that. Anyway, so this episode started off with Marvin. He taking revenge on Unique for what they did to his little brother Lulu. Oh my God. I said, oh, Marvin shooting up the damn place. Got an automatic weapon. And miss. Did he hit anybody, y'all? What is with the people in these shows? They keep missing. They got automatic weapons. They tearing up people's houses and everything. Ain't nobody hit Lulu. Ain't nobody hit Marvin. Ain't nobody hit. I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird to me how all of that goes down and nobody hit. But he shot up. He had this guy driving him in the van, and Marvin's just shooting. And I don't know if he even saw that Unique was there with his child. And Unique covered his child in the car and everything. Thank God. I thought I had seen blood at 1 minute. But then you didn't see it. So I don't know what happened. But all his boys, I don't know if any of his boys got hit. I don't know. But anyway, so then they show Rock in the hospital. Oh, no, I'm sorry. And then so Marvin and the guy get away. And he pulls over. And Marvin tells him people been talking. And he's like, what? And he points the gun at him, you know, because he dropped dime. That's the guy who dropped dime on Kanan and said that Kanan did it. So all of him dropping dime made it come all the way back to Rock through the police detective back to Marvin. And he got Marvin in trouble. So Marvin didn't give a fuck. Pop! Popped him, blood all over the place. That's right. He splattered homeboy's brains all over the car and then burned the van up. Yes, he did. And then they went to switch to what? Rock and Jessica in the hospital room by Lulu's side, and Jessica asked, you know, can she want to go home and freshen up because she want to be here when Lulu wakes up and all this stuff. So she went home to shower. Rock said, take care of you or whatever. And while Rock is standing there, you know, she's there. You know how you sit at the bedside of somebody who's sick or they out or sleep and you start talking to them, and she's like, Lulu, they must have forgotten who the F I am. She said, but I'm going to make sure they remember who I am. I said, uh-oh, Rock is about to get nasty or something. I don't know what's about to happen, but she about to do something. And then Symphony comes to the door. She looks at him, and she comes out, and she walks down the hall, and he follows her. And she's looking at him kind of like funky, like she upset he there. She's like, if I wanted you to be here, I would have had you, I would have called you and all this stuff. And he was like, yo, I was calling you. He said, this is what people do when they care about you. He said, I was calling and you didn't answer, so I got concerned and Kanan told me you was here. Oh, now you and Kanan talking, y'all cool and stuff. Honey, you wanted your son to be cool with him. Your son cool with him now. And she was like, She said, well, we had with some fake issue, and this is stuff we dreamed up while our eyes was closed. She said, and after seeing my little brother like this, she said, I ain't never gonna let that happen again. And she said, I was like, duh. He said, but I know who you are, and I love who you are. He was like, I don't have a problem with that. She's like, look, don't worry about it. You'll find some college girl at F, soon enough. And he was like, damn. He's like, F you, Rock. And he walked away. And she said, oh, there it is. You finally got some heart. I didn't know you had it in you. And he turns and looks at her and just like in disgust. And he was like, you know what? Tell Marvin that Tony can't be trusted. And he walked away. Because remember, he saw last week what Tony was doing with those police detectives. So then they showed Detective Howard outside the hospital, and he witnessed this nurse giving these two thugs hospital clothes and stuff. And he knew they didn't look right. One of them looked like they had the high top fade and stuff. He knew they wasn't no nurse. And they gave her money. So they pretended to be orderlies and got through all the police checkpoints and got upstairs to there. But when they got to Lula's room, which the police officer was supposed to be watching, sitting out there, but his butt is down the hall talking to that nurse who gave them the information, just the clothes and stuff. They go in there, close the door, pull the curtain back, and ready to shoot Lulu, and he ain't there. And all of a sudden behind him is Detective Howard and two other police officers saying, don't you move, mother effers. Don't move. You put the guns down on the bed. And it was like, whoa, he caught them, and then you see them two get arrested, and the nurse who helped them out. So they had to leave, and, that was cool. But, now it's like Rock almost owe him a favor now. You know what I mean? So then they switch over to Nicole's parents in the damn precinct. She's like, the police in Manhattan said, you ordered to let Laverne go. And I want to know, my daughter's never done drugs, and this is the girl who killed my daughter. She gave her those drugs, she killed her. She was never a ghetto addict. She wasn't, okay, my daughter wasn't a ghetto addict. What was she, a upscale addict? You know what I mean? It's like, really? And she's going off and she's blaming Laverne for everything. And Jukebox, y'all know who I'm talking about. And the husband is like, you don't know that. You don't know that. She's like, he said, stop making it worse by saying all these things and allegations and stuff. She said, this won't bring Nicole back. She said, I know it won't bring her back. But I know if I don't do something, I'll find somebody who does. If they don't do something, I'm going to find somebody. Because I know powerful people. I know powerful people who don't allow this to happen to families like ours. I said, she pulled a serious Karen move. Was that not a Karen move, y'all? She pulled a Karen on the white female detective that she's telling all this stuff to. And the white female detective would not say nothing to her. She said, I heard your daughter OD'd on drugs. It's like, how you blaming this other girl? She did it, da-da-da-da. So I respect the husband, because the husband's cool. He know his wife is going on off because of the gay stuff. It ain't got nothing to do with them drugs. Well, her daughter is dead, but her daughter was a junkie anyway, or a druggie anyway. That's just that. Anyway, what else happened? Now, Detective Howard, he was threatening. He kind of was threatening Rock and said, "Now I done asked and begged, but I'm not here, and you not hearing me. Now I want to hear. I want to know." I want Kanan to find out who I am and know who I am. And Rock still ain't trying to tell him and stuff. So she's like, if I do this for you, you got to do me a favor. And he was like, He said, and she said, and I'll get a pass. He said, only within reason. Because he was like, I'm not giving up that power. But see, I don't trust him. I ain't trust him anyway. But she's like, he said, but if I do that, he said, when I need a special favor from you, and later on, you better come correct. You better come correct. And she's like, what does that mean? What does that mean? And we know what it means, because see, his favor is gonna be have Kanan get that bone marrow so he can survive and stuff. So he said nothing. Just I'll get in touch with you later about the date and time to meet and everything. So, oh, excuse me. But then you hear the narrator in the background going, you see, ain't nothing more dangerous than a desperate nigga. Nothing left to lose, all over his face. I said, yep. Because he was like, whoa. You could see the desperation on his face. And he did go to see that doctor, and the doctor told him, you know, you still got to get to permission from the legal guardian for them, you know, to even scrape and get to some of the bone marrow. So he's telling the doctor it's a little complicated with the mother and all this stuff. She said, well, every day you delay is a day you dying, you know, so just keep, you know, let me know. Then they show jukeboxes at Nicole's grave, and she's I guess the female detective is following her, and she mentions that she had this is when she tells that she, I guess, is a lesbian as well, because she mentions her first girlfriend, Megan, and, you know, trying to warm up to Juke, but Juke wasn't trying to say nothing. And then she asked, you want to go get some Italian ices? I was like, oh, I haven't had an Italian icy in a long time. I want one. You know, those used to be the bomb. The cherry Italian ices, I used to love those, and the strawberry. But anyway, she goes with her, and Jukes gets the icy, and then she asks the detective why she keep following her. And, you know, because I guess she didn't talk to her the whole time in the car. And the detective is, you know, sharing all his family stuff. And Jukes like, is this the time when we supposed to bond now up over our family's fucked up stuff? You know, issues and stuff. I said, oh, my God. I was like, Juke was like, she kind of snapped out of that depression and went into, yo, why you bothering me? You know, mood. She said, so, she talked about the female detective was talking about all this other stuff, and Juke didn't want to hear it. So she just said, I'm walking away, because she kept asking her questions about D-Wiz, Buck 20, Kanan, all this stuff, you know, and she told us, just stop following me. Then Kanan shows up to the hospital and asks why they moved Uncle Lou's room. And Rock told him everything that went down. And then she said she wants to, he told her, he said, look, Ma, I understand why you did what you did, but I want to help you. I want to help you. I want to help Uncle Lou. And I guess he's like, you know, he's upset too. He want revenge too, because he don't want to see his uncle up in there. He know how much love the family has for each other. So she was like, okay, we gonna talk. You know, Rock and Marvin, they talking at the hospital. Raquel, where Marvin was at the hospital? I think they were at the you know, the hospitals have that place where like the little church chapel, like little, I think that's what they were in there. And they were having their little heart to heart. And she's telling him, if you're gonna be taking shots at people, you can't be missed. You can't be missing. You complicating things by doing that. And he said, look, I don't work for you no more if you don't forgot. So no one could tell me how to defend my family, not even your ass. And that's how he felt. And so she tells what happened with Lou, and with the guys coming in, Unique's guys coming in and trying to get revenge back on him. And he's pissed. He said, yo, Unique got to be stopped. So she said, I want you back, Marvin. And Marvin's like, look. And he had to talk. He was like, let me say what I have to say. Because he said, you know how I feel taking orders from my little sister? And she's like, look, I only stepped in because you had stepped off. Meaning he got caught up in his drugs, and that's why she had to do that. So he said, look, I'm a man, and I need to be respected. And I understand that. I'm a man, and she better see. And he did tell her she was better at seeing things than he did and everything, and that she was doing a good job, you know. And he said, you know, I raised you and Lou when mom and dad weren't only shit, or something like that. Like, he said something, I was like, what did he say? I was trying to listen, like, what did he say? You know. But he said, and I'll die for you. And she said, I'll die for you too. You know, so when people do ish like this to my little bro, he said, I'm going to be hurt. So they going to have to hear me. I said, I hear that. So he said, well, she said, Rock said, I can't do this alone. I can't do this alone. And he said, so they fist bumped. Was they fist bumping out back then? They fist bumped and said, family. Boof. And he's like, what's next? And she said, the revolution, nigga. That was it. It's like a revolution up in here. Woo, the revolution will be heard. No, anyway. What else happened? Let's see. Rock and Juke talk at the hospital. She comes in there. She says, I'm sorry about, I heard about your girlfriend. Jess told me about your friend. And she tells her, that the female detective had been questioning her about Kanan and Buck 20 and D-Wiz. And Rock was wondering why. But then she said she did come to her before and she never said anything and she just walked and left. She said, but I didn't say anything and got out. So Rock said, sounds like the police likes you, you know. And she said, I don't talk to no police. She said, no. She said, sometimes police are good friends to have. That's a point. It's a good point. What else happened? Kanan is at Marvin's house and Rock told him to give Kanan a gun. I was like, what? He said, what? Even Kanan was shocked, said, what? So Marvin said he must gonna be on the corner soon, working the corner, because they need people now and everything, because Unique and his boys is getting crazy. And so Kanan is saying he can't work with that music that Marvin got playing, that old school music. Need to get some good school. He said, so Kanan got up to go to jukebox room to get the music. And he told him to sit down, and Marvin went in there and started going through all the jukebox stuff. And it's funny, he opened and closed, and one drawer was stuck and wouldn't open, and he made it a point to get that drawer open and just to forget her privacy and bust that drawer open, and the tape fell out and the pictures of her with Nicole, and he plays the tape and sees them singing that song together, and he gets all riled up, and Kanan come back there to say, he got to go, and he hurried up and flipped off the channel so Kanan could see it, but Kanan should have been able to see that it was Jukebox and Nicole on the TV. And he said, Mom told me to get 2 Glocks and go. He said, okay, go. And he asked him a question, and he snapped at Kanan. Kanan said, right, damn, what you getting upset with me for? So you already knew he was getting pissed because he's seeing his daughter's gay. So what happened after that? So Detective Howard and his partner talking, and she tells him that she found out some more information about those blue caps, and he said, I told you to leave it alone, that Kanan Stark ain't got nothing to do with it. And she was saying how she talked to Laverne, whatever Laverne's last name is, and she talked to her, and he's like, leave it alone. And she digging into too much, trying to find out stuff, and he tells her to stop. And he said, you know what? She said, why do you care so much about this family? Why you don't want us to investigate them? What's going on? What are they to you? You know? And he said, you know what? You've been on damn job 10 minutes, and you going to act like you know what's best? He said, I'm going to the captain and telling him we're not going to be partners anymore. I don't want to be your partner no more. We done being partners. And she's like, damn, okay, whatever. But she knew he didn't want to. It was boys, you know. Nobody really wanted a female for a partner back then anyway, you know. So Juke comes back home. They show Juke come back home. Marvin's in her room. Her room is tore up. This scene was too much for me. Her room is tore up, and he's sitting in there and stuff. And I said, damn, Marvin, what is wrong with you? That's your daughter. And he called her a faggot. He said, so what, you a faggot, girl, a girl faggot? That's what he called a girl faggot? You a Lebanese? I said, I'm sorry, y'all. Because I can't stand it. I like because when Medea do that, they use the words in the wrong way, you know. Instead of saying lesbian, he said, what, you a Lebanese now? And she just looking at him, won't say nothing. And she said, Nicole is dead. And he's like, good. Like she got what she was coming. He said, you got that shit from your mother's side of the family. They all jacked up and all that stuff. And he said, that's what she get. She got what she deserved. And woo, you could see Juke's face was, what? And you could see her getting a spit up in her mouth and right in his face. I said, oh my God. And he was like, slap, sent her flying around the damn room. I said, oh. And the force, she got mad, and he said something, jumped on her. She jumped on him, and they were fighting and stuff. You fighting your daughter? You was a grown ass man fighting your daughter? What is up with that? And then he stepped on that video. That's the only thing she went in that house to get. She went to get that video, and he took it and smashed it with his foot. That's what made her jump on him. She was so hurt. That was her one connection. He probably burnt up the pictures or ripped them up or whatever too. And you fighting your daughter and choking her and choking her till she fell to the floor. He said, just because you think you're a nigga don't mean you can fight like one. That's your daughter. I think Rock is going to have a problem with that. If she tells Rock what Marvin did, I think Rock will hurt him or something. I really do. I think that would be like the last straw. She would be very upset. Although she needs him, I think she would check him on that. Yep. And then all of a sudden, when she fell to the floor, she got up. You could tell he felt bad what he did. He's like, oh shit, like what am I doing? And she walked down. He's like, juke, and she just kept walking. And next thing you know, she outside and she calling that detective. What's her name? But we don't know her name. The white female detective, and she calls on her, and she's outside the precinct. And the lady was like, you could came in. She's like, no, I couldn't come in there, that precinct. I can't do that. That's not cool. How would that look? So she told the detective everything that was about to go down, was going to happen. And the detective's like, why are you telling me this? She said, because I don't want anyone else to get hurt. So she told her some things. I can't remember what they were. Something that was going to go down. The cops have to be watching their back, and this one has to watch their back. All this stuff. So then it goes to Rock and showing Kanan how to shoot a gun. And she's teaching him the differences, but all the different types of guns and stuff. Don't mess with them 22s. They like just BB guns, and the other jams. The other ones, they jam them automatics and all that stuff, and they don't aim good. She said you got to get a Glock, cause see people that's for people who know what they gotta do, and they keep a nigga down. When you shoot him with it, nigga stay down. You gotta aim. She told him how to aim, and she was teaching him. And she said, and then after that, she said, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm being truthful. I'm about to ask you to walk up to a man and look him in his eyes and put him down for good. She said, I'm your mother, and I'm asking you to kill a man. I said, oh, damn. It got that serious. She was like telling him. She said, I need you to squeeze that trigger tonight and save me. She said, I need you to save all of us. So she put that pressure on Kanan, that Kanan wouldn't back out and think about backing out. But that's jacked up, a mother telling you to kill somebody. Come on now. I said, damn, Rock. So, in the meantime, Unique talking to this group of guys, and he telling them they need to, that this is it. We at war with the other side. This is it. We at war. Anyone down with Rock gotta die tonight. He had like 30 dudes look like up in there. He wasn't playing. All that peace shit is gone. It's done. He said, old scores must be settled now. He was dead serious. And they was like, break. Oh, and everybody went. I said, oh, okay. It's about to be on and popping up in there. Southside of Queens gonna be up and popping. Then we got Lulu wakes up and Jessica's there. So that was good news. How you feel? I feel like I'm burnt up or something like that. He said he felt like he was on fire. So I'm glad, thank you God, that Lulu's okay. We all happy about that because Lulu, I like him. Then the scene. This the scene that I'm in, y'all. Because what comes up next is Rock meeting up with her mom at church. Because I was like, I don't know who this woman is Rock was at church. But I also was downstairs in that scene downstairs, but you couldn't see me in that scene when she was talking to her moms and stuff. Ever wonder how I ended up the way I am? And she said, you know what? She said, you your own person, Rock. Don't start that. Don't put it on me. She said, your mama ain't your problem, Rock. You are. And she knew something was up. She said, I know something up because you ain't been in church or who know when and stuff. And that choir that was singing at the church, that was Vi Higgins' choir. I know some of them up there as well. But, wow, we did that scene over 100 times. And all my friends were in, all the people I was there with at the show, they wasn't my friends. They were co-workers, let's put it that way. They were in all these different scenes, and they cut all of theirs and had in it. I love it. Anyway, that was that. But basically, that was how it ended. No, I'm sorry. It ended with Kanan. Kanan goes up there and puts on Unique's jacket. Now we know why Lulu went to get that jacket. So if anybody saw him shooting the person, they would think it was Unique. So Kanan is he's walking, he puts on the jacket, and he's going to meet this man that he got to kill. And he looked like he lost his confidence for a minute and stood there and was getting his breath like, okay, I could do this, because Rock put all the pressure on him. And so his nerves started getting to him, you could see. But he went and he walks over there, and when he gets up to the guy, turns around, and he sees Detective Howard, he like, oh, shit. So Detective Howard said, oh, man, I didn't know what I was going to say to you when I saw you. I practiced it, rehearsed so many times, but I couldn't, And he said, hey, that ain't your jacket you got on. That ain't yours. And Kanan points the gun. Poof. Like, he said, yo, what you doing? You don't do that, son. Then he called him son. That's his one son he get to do. Son, he said, Rock is setting you up. Pow! He shot him. Soon as you say, don't talk about nobody mama. He shot him when he said, Rock is setting you up. Pow! That was the first one. He went down on the ground. And he got up on him. Like Rock said, look him in the eye. Pow! Shot him again. Dead. And that's how it went off. This was a good episode. I was like, Detective Howard will no longer be a problem for them. Anyway, I hope y'all like this episode. I hope y'all get to see me. This your girl. I'll see you in the next video. This your girl, Barbi J, saying peace. Hey.